Brother officer, could I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Is the legislations applied arbitrarily or based on facts?
I'm sorry, repeat that?
Is the legislation of this, like when a state passes legislation, do they apply it arbitrarily or do they, do you apply what you call the laws, penal laws and things like that?
Yes.
Is it applied arbitrarily or do you apply it to somebody based on facts?
Okay, it depends on the situation, really.
If I peed in front of you right now,
I could write you a summons, but I can also give you...
but wouldn't you have to prove jurisdiction over me first? Wouldn't you? All right, as a
You're in
police officer.
violation. I observed you in violation of a health code.
Now, the word violation implies that
I observed
you assume that I had a duty to obey some statute or some regulation, right? So because a violation is when somebody breaks something that they are obliged to follow, right?
Okay, but if you're saying that you feel you don't need to, see, that's where it's circumstantial to the law.
There's no statements being made. It's just questions.
No, I know.
So I'm just asking,
based
like,
on what you're...
how is jurisdiction assumed and proven by a police officer?
Observation.
Now, how does observation prove jurisdiction?
I've been given the power by the state to uphold the law, being health code or whatever it may be.
Right, but what does that have to do with me as an individual?
If
For example,
if I observe an individual urinating on a public street, that's in violation of the health code. So I have to observe that. Now I can, as a law officer, I can either give discretion or write you a summons. So it's really dependent on the officer. But you're in violation of it. The person is in violation of the health code because of.
Now, is there proof that the person violated the health code?
My statement on the summons that I observed him urinating on a public street.
So where's the proof that because
The proof
he urinated?
is on the burden of the officer.
Right. So how does the officer prove that because he urinated, that's a violation of the health code? Just because the health code
Because
says
it's written in the health code stuff.
So how does the officer prove that person is bound to the health code?
Is that person a resident of the state of New York?
How does the officer prove that? Is the
By
officer
his ID.
assuming? Is the officer
By his
assuming that?
ID.
But before you ask the person for ID, right? That means that you don't know what the person is, right? That's why you're asking for ID, right? So that means that you don't know you have jurisdiction over. That's what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying, right? No, don't walk away, brother. Don't walk away, brother. We just talking.
No, I know. But I understand what you're saying.
You see why I carry myself? Because I'm full of wisdom and knowledge and experience. So I'm talking to you as a brother to a brother.
The Moore Nation? Are you from the Moore Nation?
No, if you understand mathematics, could I be from zero?
You can be.
Because you know the scientists, they study the whole universe using mathematics.
I hear you.
So everything's broken down in mathematics, but all things come from zero. One has applications, two has applications, like singularity, unity, two has duality and things like that, opposition and things like that. So we understand mathematics. Could I ask him the question to see if he knows if he can answer the question?
You can ask him the question, but he's gonna give you the same answer
All right.
I did.
Is the legislation that you enforce as codes and regulations, things like that, do you apply it? Like to me, example, if I peed in front of you, would you apply the code to me arbitrarily or based on facts?
The fact that I saw you do it?
Now, the fact that you saw me do it, what facts would you use to prove that the code applies to me just because you saw me do it?
The code applies to everybody.
Factually, like what facts do you rely on to prove that? That the code applies to me just because I peed?
I'm not following.
All right, everything an officer does, you have to do it based on evidence, right?
The evidence would be me visually seeing you.
So what evidence?
What our friend is saying here, just because what gives us basically what he's saying is, even though we observed them, how do we prove we observed them?
No. How do you prove that
That
something a group of people wrote up called a code applies to me? It's like a written instrument.
We gotta go on.
So it's like, how does a written instrument apply to me? Because if you're applying a written instrument to me, that's all I'm asking.
You would have your day in your court and you can prove
All right, I want to wish you safety and peace and blessings.
Thank you.
All right, blessings. Peace and blessings. All right. All right.